So, by now, you should understand that trading is not just about accuracy, right? It's not about just timing the market and choosing the right setup, and that's the key to success. We know that instead of trading for accuracy, we have to trade for expectancy, i.e., the overall edge, which includes the reward to risk of any trades that we take, right? And combine that with accuracy. And once we have a positive expectancy, now we have a winning strategy that can make us money over a large enough number of trades. Add to that frequency, and it determines how much money we can possibly make on that strategy. So now let's get into the other huge variable that's going to affect your trading. And let's get into it with an example so you can really feel it and grasp it. Okay, so we're assuming now we have a positive expectancy strategy, right? We've learned how to read the market, we've learned correct strategy, correct market timing, exits, all of that, and we've put together a positive expectancy strategy, which is what we are going to be teaching you to do throughout this training. And let's assume this is a very good strategy. You have 60% winners, okay? And your winners are twice as large as your losers. So you usually on average have 2-to-1 reward to risk. This will give you an expectancy of 0.8. Okay? So now, like we've learned, if it's a positive expectancy, you have a positive edge. And if you take a large number of trades, you are going to come out ahead based on the probabilities. You're going to make money. But is that always the case? Is there something that can screw this up? And screw it up royally, if I may add. Well, let's find out. Let's see what the most dangerous thing in trading is, and the thing that you have to learn to avoid doing no matter what. Okay? I'm going to drive this home like no one's ever drove this home to you before, because this is the key. This is what most traders screw up on. So let's take a look at it. In the following example, we're assuming you have just $1,000 at risk. That's way too small of an account, but we're just using a simple example to drive the point home, okay? So we're assuming you're trading $1,000 and that's what you have as an account. And you have this 0.8 expectancy strategy, right? And let's also assume that you're going to decide to bet, $100, to risk $100 each time you trade. All right, let's see what could happen here. So you take the first trade and it ends up being a $100 loss. All right. Okay, no big deal. So you take trade number 2 and you end up with another $100 loss. So you go, okay, fine. The chances of losing are 40%, so this is normal. So you take another trade and you get another $100 loss. So now you're down $300 on this $1,000 account, right? You're down to $700. And you're thinking, well, what's going on here? I have 60% chance of winning. I have a very good positive expectancy strategy. This should make me money over a large number of trades. You go, okay, fine, it's only been 3 trades. Let me take another one. And you have a $100 loss. Now you're getting mad. You're thinking, I just had 4 losing trades in a row. How could I be down to $600? How could I have lost 40% of my account? But then the thought occurs to you that, wait, if I've had 4 losing trades in a row, and this thing should be a 60% accuracy system, I'm definitely bound for a winning trade. The odds of having another losing trades are really low now. To have 5 in a row when this thing should be winning 60% of the time. So what I really want to do is I want to make up my losses. I've just lost 400. And since I'm almost sure that the next one has to be a winner, let me just risk 400, right, and make them all up at one trade. So you decide to risk 400. And sure enough, trade number 5 is a $400 loss. Now you don't get it. How could I have just lost 5 trades in a row? And now I'm down $800. I'm down to $200 from this $1,000 account. It quickly hits you that to get back just to break even, just to $1,000, you have to make a 400% return. Because right now all you have left is $200 and you have to make $800. And making $800 from 200 is a 400% return. So you go, well, there's no way to achieve this except to double up. I have 200. I got to risk the 200. I got to double it, and then I got to double it again. And since I've had 5 losers in a row, and this thing should be winning 60% of the time, it's almost impossible for it to be another loser. Now, it's almost surely going to be a winner. It's just got to be a winner now. And so you bet the 200, and I don't have to tell you what happens next. You get a $200 loss. And what has just happened? Please read that sentence right there on your screen. Read it, absorb it, and internalize it as much as you possibly can, with emotion, with intensity. Okay? You've just lost your whole account trading a positive expectancy strategy, one that should have made you money, due to one thing: incorrect position sizing. Okay? I can't stress this enough. The incorrect position sizing, in turn, came because of some wrong assumptions about probabilities and because of human psychology, because of your psychology. Now, the wrong assumptions you made about probabilities were the fact that just because you had had 4 or 5 losers in a row, that you are bound for another winner. This is called the gambler's fallacy. Right? People who don't understand probabilities, usually gamblers, which is not what you want to be, they assume that just because they've had a certain amount of losing bets or losing trades or whatever it is, that they're bound for a winner. When in reality, the odds are always exactly the same on the next trade. And let me give you an example why. Say you're flipping a coin. Okay, you have a 50-50 chance of getting heads or tails. And now you've flipped it 7 times, and 7 times in a row you've gotten tails. In your mind, naturally, it's human psychology, you're going to be expecting a head. You'll be thinking, I've had 7 tails in a row and this thing should be 50-50. A head has to happen, right? But do you realize that the odds of getting heads is still 50-50? It hasn't changed no matter how many came before. And you know why? Think about this. Does the coin know how many times you've tossed it just right now? Does it really know? Does it have a memory that says, oh yeah, I've been tossed tails 7 times now, so now I should be heads? It has no clue. The past is irrelevant. At any given coin flip right now, it's still 50-50. It's always 50-50. Now when you take them as a group, yes, getting 7 tails in a row has low odds as a whole. But the next flip is still the same 50-50 odds. And it's the exact same in trading. No matter how many losers you've had in a row, the next trade still has the exact same odds. Now you might be thinking that this is an unrealistic example because, what are the chances of actually getting 6 losing trades in a row? Well, based on a 60% winning system, the chances of getting 6 losers in a row is 0.5%. Now that doesn't sound high, but what that means is that for every 200 trades you make, on average, this bad stretch will happen once. And if you're a day trader, you're taking 5-6 trades a day, and you have a strategy with a 60% winning, odds, you can expect this to happen once every couple of months. It's not as rare as it might seem. And if you use incorrect position sizing, i.e., you trade too large, like that trade number 5 where you bet $400, yes, sometimes it's going to work out for you, you're going to be happy, but it's ultimately going to lead to your ruin. In this case, a winning system, a winning strategy with a positive expectancy was defeated because of incorrect position sizing. And that brings us to this major principle, which is that you can only realize the expectancy of a strategy by employing correct position sizing. i.e., you're only going to achieve that expectancy. You're only going to reach the results that the expectancy says you will achieve by employing correct position sizing. by not blowing up before you can actually achieve that. I cannot overstate the importance of this. Even if you have an edge, even if you have a great strategy, if you don't know how to size your positions correctly, if you fall into these psychological traps, you are going to ruin that strategy and you're going to lose money. But the good news is there are specific ways and very simple ways, ultra simple, to ensure correct position sizing, and they take no effort. While everything else about trading might be complex, analyzing the market and getting in and getting out and all of that, position sizing can be the most simple, straightforward thing, and yet it's one of the most important things you can do. So I want to really drive this point home. I myself, when I was first learning to trade, now I'm teaching you all this, and you might look at maybe and think, okay, this guy's an expert and all that. But in the beginning, the only way I became a professional trader, the only way I was able to make my living solely from trading, was by placing huge importance on position sizing. Huge. I respected the market far too much not to do so. Okay? I made a million other mistakes. Mistakes in entries, in exits, in analyzing the market, and trading at the wrong times, trading the wrong things, everything. But despite all that, I survived and I grew my account eventually quite steadily and rapidly because of correct position sizing. That's how important it is. So you can screw everything else up, but if you get this thing right, along with a couple of related things to it that we'll be discussing, you should be fine. You should be okay. You should be able to survive your learning curve. And that's the key here, right? Surviving your learning curve long enough to be able to come to a positive expectancy strategy. And even when you haven't hit positive expectancy yet, correct position sizing will keep you in the game. So in the next session, we're going to get into the spreadsheets. We're actually going to show you the position sizing model that we use and provide you with some tools so you can use it in your own trading. So it'll be a very instructive session.